Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is an absolutely fantastic day to dive deep into the messy, complicated, and utterly addictive world of Port Charles. We have some explosive developments to unpack from Monday's upcoming episode, and trust us, you will not want to miss a single detail of this breakdown. Grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get right into the heat of the drama. Let me say this clearly, right out of the gate. I have just finished going over the story beats for Monday, April 20th, and my brain is absolutely spinning. I cannot stay quiet about the choices the writers are making right now. As someone who breathes the structure of soap storytelling, who analyzes every single beat and pause, I am looking at this upcoming episode and I am feeling a massive mixture of fierce admiration and deep, burning anxiety. The board is being set for a massive collision, and if the writers do not stick the landing on this, I am going to lose my mind. But if they do, this could be one of the most structurally sound, emotionally devastating weeks of General Hospital we have seen in years. So let us start with the absolute mess that is the Brooklyn Quartermaine situation. Jordan is officially taking matters into her own hands and investigating the person who caused her accident. And who is she zeroing in on? Brooklyn. I mean, honestly, it is about damn time. I am so tired of the tired soap trope where the victim just lies in a hospital bed or sits at home waiting for the PCPD to figure it out. The PCPD is notoriously incompetent unless someone like Jordan is actively pushing the narrative. Because Jordan is a cop to her core. She is not going to just let this go. She smells blood in the water, and she knows Brooklyn is hiding something massive about the night of that car crash. When I look at Jordan's psychology here, it is brilliant. Jordan does not just want justice. She wants the truth. And she has the investigative chops to tear Brooklyn's flimsy cover story to shreds. And can we talk about Brooklyn's sheer panic? As a scriptwriter, I look at Brooklyn and I see a character who is fundamentally unequipped to play the long game of deception. She is a Quartermaine, yes, but she does not have Tracy's ice-cold veins. Tracy is standing right there, whispering in her ear, convincing her to keep lying to Harrison Chase. Am I supposed to pretend that this makes sense for Brooklyn's ultimate happiness? Absolutely not. But dynamically, it is a brilliant, agonizing train wreck. You put a massive, guilty secret between a woman and her straight-laced, morally upright cop husband, and you light the fuse. I am watching this unfold and I am just screaming at the screen. Brooklyn is going to completely destroy her marriage if she listens to Tracy. Tracy's entire worldview is built on self-preservation and burying the bodies deep. But Chase is a Boy Scout. The anatomy of a soap lie dictates that the longer you hold on to the secret, the more devastating the fallout. When Chase finds out that Brooklyn not only caused or was involved in Jordan's accident, but actively covered it up while looking him in the eye every single night, the betrayal will not just be about the law, it will be about the foundational trust of their relationship. The writers are torturing us with this anxiety, and honestly, I respect the hustle. They are building a ticking time bomb, and Jordan is the one holding the match. But let us shift gears, because the real adrenaline shot of Monday's episode is the meeting between Ethan Lovett and Sonny Corinthos. Let me repeat that. Ethan Lovett and Sonny Corinthos are sitting down to plot the absolute destruction of Jen Sidwell and Cullum. This is the kind of storytelling that gets me out of bed in the morning. When you take a legacy character like Ethan, carrying the chaotic, rebellious DNA of Luke Spencer, and you drop him into the dark, calculated orbit of the Corinthos organization, the dialogue should practically write itself. I can already picture the blocking of this scene. Sonny standing by his desk, the dim lighting catching the grim determination on his face, while Ethan paces the room, vibrating with a desperate need for vengeance. Ethan is not just back in Port Charles to reminisce with Lulu and Tracy, though those nostalgic beats are nice. He is a man on fire. Jen Sidwell nearly caused the grim, horrifying fate of his mother, Holly Sutton. You do not touch Holly Sutton and get away with it. Ethan is operating entirely on raw, unadulterated vengeance right now. And Sonny is always looking to eliminate a threat to his territory and his family. The fact that they are aligning to take down Sidwell and Cullum is a masterstroke of pacing. We have been waiting for someone to take the fight directly to Sidwell instead of just reacting to his moves. I have studied the rhythm of GH for a long time, and I recognize when the show is finally shifting from passive angst to active warfare. Sidwell has been comfortably sitting in Windermere, mourning his son Marco Rios, and letting Ava Jerome stroke his ego and play his confidant. Sidwell thinks he is untouchable because he is grieving. He thinks his billionaire status and his ruthless reputation shield him from the street-level grit of Port Charles. But he has no idea what is coming for him. Ethan does not care about Sidwell's grief over Marco. Ethan cares about blood for blood, and Sonny knows exactly how to dismantle an empire piece by piece. And let us talk about Cullum's involvement in this. Cullum is the wild card, the piece of the puzzle that makes this alliance so incredibly dangerous. By targeting both Sidwell and Cullum, Ethan and Sonny are essentially declaring a scorched earth war on this syndicate. I am predicting right now that this is going to get incredibly violent. The writers are not setting up an alliance of this magnitude just to have them exchange harsh words in a boardroom. They are setting up a hit. They are setting up a takedown that will shake the foundation of the city. But what really makes this storyline sing is the complication of Ava Jerome. Ava is currently playing a highly dangerous game of chess with Sidwell, trying to prove she can be his right-hand woman, leveraging her mafia background to secure her financial freedom. She is completely ignoring Laura's explicit warnings about how dangerous Sidwell is. She is getting closer to the flame. So what happens when Sonny, the father of her child, and Ethan launch a full-scale assault on the man she is trying to align with? Ava is going to be caught directly in the crossfire. The dramatic irony is delicious. We, the audience, know the storm is coming, and Ava is just standing there adjusting her sails, completely unaware of the hurricane named Ethan and Sonny that is about to make landfall. Now, I need to take a deep breath because we have to talk about Laura Collins. Mayor Laura Collins, the moral compass of Port Charles. In Monday's episode, Laura is receiving dark ideas from Curtis Ashford, and she is actually listening to them to regain control of her situation. I am sorry, but I have to stand up and applaud this. I have been so deeply frustrated with how the writers have handled Laura's blackmail nightmare with Sidwell up to this point. They have made her look helpless. They have made her look like a victim, constantly wringing her hands while Sidwell dictates the terms of her life and her city. It was a recycled emotional beat that I was sick of watching. But this changes everything. Curtis stepping in and offering Laura a dark, off-the-book solution to regain control is exactly what this narrative needed. Curtis is not a Boy Scout. He operates in the gray. He knows that when you are dealing with a monster like Sidwell, you cannot use bureaucratic red tape. You cannot just pass a city ordinance to make him go away. You have to get your hands dirty. And the fact that Laura is entertaining these dark ideas shows a fundamental, necessary shift in her psychology. I know some fans want Laura to remain pure, to always take the high road. But let me say this clearly, the high road does not work against a billionaire crime lord who is holding your life hostage. I want to see Laura break bad. I want to see the woman who survived the Cassadines, the woman who has seen more darkness than almost anyone else in this town, finally snap and say that she has had enough. When Curtis lays out this dark strategy, I do not want Laura to hesitate. I want her to embrace the shadows, because that is real emotional truth. You push a good person far enough, and they will find the monster inside themselves to survive. The structural brilliance of this episode is how all these threads are fundamentally about control. Brooklyn is desperately trying to control a secret that is already unraveling thanks to Jordan's relentless investigation. Ethan and Sonny are taking violent control of the narrative to avenge Holly and protect their territory from Sidwell and Cullum. And Laura is finally realizing that the only way to break Sidwell's control over her is to step outside the boundaries of the law with Curtis. It is a thematic masterpiece if they execute it correctly. Every single character is pushed to their absolute limit, forced to make choices that will permanently alter the landscape of their lives. I am terrified, though. I am terrified that the writers will pull their punches. I am worried that Brooklyn will confess too soon and we will lose the dramatic tension of Chase finding out the hard way. I am worried that Sonny and Ethan's plan will be thwarted by some silly misunderstanding or a last-minute change of heart. And I am fiercely worried that Laura will back down from Curtis's dark ideas at the last second to preserve her mayoral integrity. If they take the easy way out on any of these plots, it will be a massive failure of storytelling. They have built the tension. Now they must deliver the explosion. They cannot walk us to the edge of the cliff and then refuse to push the characters over. Because when you look at the landscape of General Hospital right now, the stakes have not been this high in a long time. Jen Sidwell is a fantastic villain precisely because he is layered. His grief over Marco Rios grounds him, making him unpredictable and human even as he does monstrous things. Ava's manipulation of that grief adds a layer of psychological warfare that is fascinating to watch. And now you have Jordan, Ethan, Sonny, Laura, and Curtis all converging on different paths of justice, vengeance, and survival. It is a massive pressure cooker, and the heat is turned all the way up. I will be watching Monday's episode with my heart in my throat. I am fully invested. I am frustrated by the slow burn that got us here, but I am entirely captivated by the potential payoff. The writers have the opportunity to deliver an absolute masterclass in soap opera dynamics. Let the secrets bleed out. Let the alliances strike hard. And for the love of everything, let Laura Collins finally take off the gloves and show Sidwell why you never ever back a Spencer Collins into a corner. We are in for a wild ride, and I am here for every single chaotic, beautiful second of it.